Hello?
Mom?
What? What? Are you all right?
Mom, I broke up with Jamal.
What? Why?
I didn't want to tell you before.
Tell me what?
About a month ago, Sarah called me and told me she saw Jamal with this girl.
They looked like they were dating. Black hair, black eyes, very pretty.
I was going to talk to Jamal, but the next day he proposed. I called Sarah and we just laughed it off.
Congratulations.
Yesterday, Tina called me. She saw Jamal with this girl coming out of the movie theater.
They were holding hands and laughing.
She described this girl with me.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
I called Jamal right away.
Sarah, you're never gonna believe
It
this.
turns out he has 3 girlfriends besides me.
Oh my God.
He said in his country,
A man is allowed to have 4 wives. So I thought in your country, I was entitled to have 4 girlfriends.
entitled to have 4 girlfriends in this country.
Even after he proposed?
He doesn't think these things are connected. I had no idea we had such different mentalities.
I'm stunned. I was just getting ready to send out bridal shower invitations.
It's over. I threw the ring at him screaming, "Get the hell out of here and never come back." He picked up the ring and left. I'm angry. I'm furious. He's been living here for 5 years. He knew perfectly well what he was doing. I hate him.
Maybe it's for the best.
Why do you think so?
Can you imagine if you married him? One day you'd discover that he has 3 mistresses as a substitute for 3 more wives.
So it turns out I'm incredibly lucky. Now I have to call all my friends and tell them the wedding is off.
Listen, I'll wake up Dad. We'll drive to the city. We'll be there in an hour, just in time for an early breakfast.
I have nothing to eat.
I know. We'll bring everything.
Thanks, Mom. You're always there for me.
Lou, it's okay not to have a boyfriend for a while. Sophie doesn't have anyone right now, and she seems fine.
What do you mean? Where's Steve?
He left her.
What? They've been together for 5 years.
She took care of him for 5 years. Cleaned that house, did his laundry, bought the groceries, cooked the meals, paid all the bills. You name it, she did it.
I can't believe it.
You know how those residents live, working more than 100 hours a week, and when they're not working, they're sleeping. Sophie told me they eat soup from a can for lunch, then they put the uncovered can in the fridge, and this becomes dinner. Steve, on the other hand, got a hot breakfast when he came home from a night on call. She packed his lunch, made his dinner. Sophie felt sorry for the other residents, so she started cooking big meals and inviting everyone over. It was so lighthearted. Lots of laughs, jokes. The money was tight, but she managed.
And he left her?
Right after he finished his residency. Sophie thought, now we're settled, he'll propose. She waited and waited. He never brought it up. Finally, Sophie asked him what his plans were.
Good for her.
No, it was hard for her to talk to him about it. It's so humiliating that, in spite of all the changes in our lives, one thing hasn't changed. The man is still the one who decides if and when he wants to propose, and a woman still has to wait for that proposal.
You are so right. I never thought about it this way.
Well, neither have I until it happened to Sophie.
So Sophie asked him,
And he said he's not ready to make a commitment. He wants to date other people, see what's out there.
oh my God.
Sophie was speechless. She didn't say a word to him. She just packed her things and left. Thank God her friends took her in right away.
Does he ever call her?
Never. It's as if she doesn't exist, as if the last 5 years didn't exist. She's so wounded.
What a lowlife. He's despicable.
You should have seen her right after this happened. Chris and I started going down to the city almost every weekend. We took her out, took her to the movies, to shows, just to be there for her. She's better now.
Maybe it's time for her to meet other people?
Oh, she will eventually, but not now. She still loves him. Thank God for her friends. They're good friends. They talk, they listen, they help. They'll take her mind off of all of this. She's never alone.
She is so lucky. Iris has just a couple girlfriends. She used to spend all her time with Jamal and his friends. Now she's alone a lot.
You know, let me talk to Sophie. She can introduce Iris to some of her friends. Maybe that'll take Iris's mind off of Jamal.
Thanks. Are you sure you'd feel comfortable talking to Sophie about
Are
it?
you kidding? They went to kindergarten together. I'm sure Sophie would love to help.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm lonely. I miss him.
Maybe it's time to meet other people. See what's out there.
Easy to say. Where am I gonna meet a guy? You can't imagine what single women do to find a guy. A haircut alone costs a few $100s. And then there's clothes, makeup. And when they go out, who do you think they see? Women. Who all look like models, all waiting for some guy. I won't look like a model no matter what I do.
Listen, do you have plans for Saturday?
Why, do you want to come down to the city?
Yes.
Great. What do you want to do?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll go to the movies. We'll eat, we'll talk, our usual.
Fun, I can't wait. Could we go shopping? I have nothing to wear, you know.
With Dad?
I forgot. Him and shopping.
Oh, Lou, I wish you'd called me sooner. My little boy is gone.
What do you mean? Is he is alive, right?
Yes, he's married.
You scared me. What's wrong with that?
It's his wife, Claire. They didn't have a wedding because she doesn't care for any festivities. She has no friends. Parents are divorced. She doesn't keep in touch with either of them. You'd think she'd be glad to be part of our family, right?
Of course.
Well, she's not. You know how we always celebrate anniversaries, birthdays with friends and family? We always ask Gary and Claire to join us, but they never do. We invite them to our country home. You've been there.
Yes, it's lovely. I remember, it's right on the lake.
Yes, Gary used to come there with his friends. Now he never comes. I don't recognize him. I don't understand what she has against us.
Do you ever try to talk to her?
I don't have a chance. When I call, she says hi and hands the phone to Gary. Sometimes when we go out for dinner, Gary joins us, but not her. And even that hardly ever happens. God, I don't deserve this. It's like I don't have a son anymore.
It's horrible.
It hurts so much. Sometimes I envy people who don't have children. At least they don't have any expectations.
Maybe she'll understand everything when she gives birth. Having your own child changes your perspective on life. Then she'll be glad you're there helping her.
She doesn't want children. She already told him. I'm sorry, I can't talk anymore. You've caught me at the wrong time.
Emma, call me whenever you feel like talking or coming over.
I will. Bye, darling. Give my regards to Mike.
Hello?
Mom, Jamal just called. He wants to come over and bring the ring. He said think it over.
What? You have to think it over? What about him?
That's what I said. I said I cannot share you with 3 women. He said
I promised to part
break
with them at the day of the wedding.
I said break up with them now and then call me.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the relationship between a man and a woman in our society.
Maybe he does. It's just a stupid male pride.
I wonder what he would say if the roles were reversed. If you had 4 boyfriends or 4 husbands, Jamal could be one.
That's hilarious.
Also, if men, not women, had to cover themselves from head to toe before they went out.
That I can't even imagine.
I thought you decided not to see him anymore. Meet other people instead.
Yeah, I know. It's just, he called, and I got carried away.
Lucy, darling, hello. What a coincidence. I'm just sending you a wedding invitation. Daniel's getting married.
Oh, I see. Congratulations. So we finally met someone.
April. Daniel mentioned he met a girl, but he avoided talking to us about her.
Why?
We couldn't understand why until one day one of my friends called to say she'd seen Daniel at the restaurant with an African-American girl.
Oh, that's why.
Yes, apparently he wasn't sure how we would react, so he wasn't in a rush to bring her home.
How did you take it?
To tell you the truth, Frank and I were in a state of shock. We didn't know what to think. We spent the whole evening just staring into space. Then we talked. We knew that if Daniel was dating a girl, she must be very important to him. We decided we didn't want to lose our son or get off on the wrong foot with our future daughter-in-law.
Good for you. What about her parents?
I don't know what they said to each other in private, but with us, they're fine. We had dinner together, then I met April's mother for lunch. I told her right away that we'd divide the costs and the responsibilities. She seemed quite surprised, and glad, of course.
Of course. Even a simple wedding costs a fortune nowadays.
We're totally in the hands of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
You did a very unusual thing. You know that?
I know. But after Greta's wedding, I said to myself, why are the bride's parents expected to pay for everything? Why does a bride's mother have to do all these cumbersome wedding preparations?
I never thought about it. Why?
The custom came from the old days, when a woman was considered to be inferior to a man. She stayed confined to the house, raising children and cooking. Men were the builders, fishermen, plowmen, hunters, enduring physical labor and great danger. To compensate for this so-called inferiority, a woman's family had to provide a dowry.
But today, a woman can do everything that a man can, but a man still can't give birth nor nurse.
Exactly my point. How in the world American women allow for this discrimination against them is beyond me. Maybe now it's the woman who should be paid for agreeing to marry and continuing mankind, eh?
Yeah, funny. We've just discussed the same subject with Iris, but from a different angle. I too have a story to tell you.
I'd love to hear it. Is it about Jamal?
Hello?
Hey, what's new?
He's willing to give up one girlfriend.
Oh, really? What did you say?
I said, wait, I have to call my mother. Just kidding. I said, out of the question, all or nothing. He says he misses me terribly.
Honey, Sophie's inviting you to go out with her friends.
When?
Friday night. They're going to the movies, then to a jazz cafe. Here's a chance to meet some new people. Write down her phone number.
Thanks. Are you sure it's okay? I haven't talked to her in years.
It's fine. She's expecting your call. Are they engaged?
No, it's been a year since he proposed and she said no. She didn't even take his ring.
I thought they were in love.
Yeah, they fell in love when they first met in jiu-jitsu class. Now, she's not sure he's the right person for her.
Why? Has something happened?
Well, they argue all the time. When they started dating, they realized they couldn't agree on anything. Both were stubborn. Liz got so tired of it, she said, let's fight for real. Whoever wins in jiu-jitsu wins the argument.
I thought the man always wins.
Not when the woman is Liz. Since they never have enough women in her class, they always team her up with different men. She wins every match, including all her matches with Brian.
Then she always wins the argument.
Yep. She chooses movies, restaurants, vacation places, activities. First she liked it, then she got bored. She felt Brian lacked a strong personality. He didn't stimulate her intellectually, so she started dating other guys. She got bored with them, too. One only talked about food, another one about football. The third one described his sex life on their first date. Brian started to look better and better. He proposed again recently.
And?
She said, I'll marry you when you beat me in jiu-jitsu.
What?
Exactly. Now poor Brian goes to this club every day. I feel so sorry for him. Since he met Liz, he hasn't dated another girl.
This story is so extraordinary. But suppose he beat her in jiu-jitsu. He'd still have the same personality.
She knows he'd never win. I think she just wants to gain time. I'm worried about her. It's time for her to get married and have children.
Did you tell her that?
Yes. I said, Liz, don't waste time. Keep looking. Keep dating other guys. And she said, Mom, you think every guy is like Dad? You think the streets of Manhattan are lined with decent and interesting guys? And I said, I see lots of interesting guys. Mom, she said, everyone knows that if a man is good-looking, well-dressed, and smart, there is a big chance he's gay. And if he likes museums, classical music, and especially opera, he's gay for sure. Why don't you try finding a good-looking and intelligent guy for me?
So it's your responsibility now.
Well, kind of. I need a favor from you.
Sure.
You remember you once told me about that guy?
Hello?
Mom, I had such a great time last night with Sophie's friends.
What movie did you see?
We ended up just going to that jazz cafe.
Any interesting guys?
Yeah, they were all interesting to talk to. I spent most of the evening talking to this one guy. He was very smart.
What did you talk about?
Oh, I told him about Jamal. We also talked about music. It turns out he loves classical music and opera. He knows so much about modern opera.
I see.
They invited me to go out hiking with them next weekend. I said sure. They said I'll meet a lot of guys.
How exciting.
Yeah, but I'm still depressed.
That none can ever hope to tame.
She kicked him out of the house.
What? When?
Last January.
Wasn't Tiff born last January?
Yep. And then 10 days after she was born, Karen went on vacation to Mexico.
No.
He and his friends had been planning the trip for months.
Didn't he know when Mel was due?
Mel gave birth a month earlier than her due date.
So?
Karen said, I couldn't let my friends down, and off he went, in spite of her pleading.
I can't believe it.
Nick and I simply moved in. I took vacation even though my boss wasn't too happy about it. But I had to help Mel. It's so exhausting those first few months. To tell you the truth, it wasn't the first time Karen did something so outrageous. This vacation was the last straw. When he returned, his things were packed.
And so now she's staying with you.
Well, she wouldn't be able to live on her own, not with the baby.
It's like old times.
Only better. We have Tiff now. Oh. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring.
Does Nick enjoy her too?
You wouldn't recognize Nick. He looks like a baby himself. He sings lullabies, recites nursery rhymes, babbles, crawls with her, lulls her to sleep.
Nick? Your Nick?
Is having the time of his life.
I have to see this with my own eyes. I can still remember how I used to say, Nick,
Could you please spend 15 minutes a day with Mel?
And Nick would say,
Where
Dad,
can I
where can I
find
find 15
15
minutes? We used to joke about it all the time, remember?
Of course. I should remind him. I'm sure he'd deny it now.
Does Karen visit Tiff?
Well, yes. He loves her. But he comes when he feels like it, not on a regular basis. Mel needs someone stable. A man who'd be raising Tiff with her. A family.
Of course.
Now it'll be much more difficult for her to find someone. Lou, you have so many friends. Your house is always full of people. Do you know of anyone, maybe older, single, wouldn't mind a baby?
Not off the top of my head. I should ask Mike. He has so many colleagues, visitors. Wait a second. I do know one guy. He would be perfect for Melanie.
Is he single?
Yes. His wife left him a few months ago. He's divorced now.
And you think he wouldn't mind dating a mother?
Of course not. He himself has twins.
Twins? Where's their mother?
I told you she left him.
How come?
As I was told, she couldn't manage on her own with the twins, yet she couldn't stand her mother-in-law who moved in to help her. They never got along, but she had no idea to what extent. She felt that if she didn't make some changes in her life, she'd have a nervous breakdown, so she left. She said it would be better for everyone.
What a monstrous woman!
Yes, but how lucky for Melanie to meet such a warm, kind, and loving man.
How old are the twins?
Let's see. Oh my goodness, they were born in January. What a coincidence. Do you want me to call him?
Let me talk to Melanie first. My feeling is she's not ready for triplets. I'll let you know one way or the other. Oh, I have to go. Tiff's crying. I need to feed her. Come, visit us.
I would love to.
How about next Saturday? Bring Mike.
Hello?
Mom, guess what?
We're down to one girlfriend.
How'd you know?
It wasn't too hard to figure out.
So what do you think?
I'm disgusted with the whole situation. Why do you allow him to do this to you?
What if he gives up all 3 of them? He said he's so depressed he hardly sees them, if at all.
How can you trust him? Don't forget you learned about his girlfriends by accident. Who knows what else you'd find out about his traditions? You should have learned about them before accepting his proposal.
I guess so. Maybe I should now.
Why?
Just out of curiosity.
Julie is expecting.
Oh my God. I'm so happy for her. And for you. Did they get back together? Did she meet someone? Is she a single mother?
No, Julie and Jeff did not get back together. No, she is not a single mother. Yes, she did meet someone. Well, actually, she didn't meet him. He was always there.
Who is it?
Do you recall the Russian guy at her high school, the one who was in love with her?
Serge?
What a memory.
I saw him once at your house. He was cute.
Yes, he was. They were good friends. But when he would talk about love, she would laugh. His English wasn't good. He didn't understand her friends' jokes. They didn't understand his. I liked him a lot. But Julie would say,
Mom, Serge and I have a different sense of humor.
Iris used to say
Jamal and I have the same sense of humor.
It doesn't help her now. Anyway, go on.
Well, then Julie went away to college. Serge didn't have much money, so he stayed and went to school at night. And they would get together from time to time, but not very often. But can you imagine? Every time he saw her, he told her he loved her. And she marries Jeff. You know the rest.
Yes, now the exciting part.
Okay. Serge called her every year to wish her a happy birthday, and every year was the same. She'd ask him if he found anyone, and he would say, "No, I'm waiting for you." And next day there'd be some funny little present from him in the mail.
It's like a movie.
Julie and Jeff divorced about a year and a half ago. It was right before her birthday. And for the first time, Serge didn't call, and there was no present in the mail either. Julie was kind of disappointed. She thought, well, maybe he had gotten married. Then she learned that he had been in a car accident and was in the hospital. She goes to see him, tells him about the divorce. He gets out, they start dating, he proposes. This guy doesn't waste any time.
And now she's expecting.
Yes! We were kind of worried about the baby. She's 35 now, but all the tests were good.
He waited for her since high school. Who says true love doesn't exist? I imagine everyone in the family must be so excited.
Yes!
How's Mark?
Mark.
Is he still in New York?
No, not anymore. New York is a lonely place if you don't have a girlfriend or friends. And Mark didn't have either. Maybe because he was lonely, he started searching for something. The meaning of life, I don't know. Anyway, Mark joined a synagogue and he's now a member of a religious community. They have celebrations, parties, so he's not lonely anymore. And I'm sure they'll find a girl for him in no time.
That's the advantage of belonging to a community. What's wrong with that? You sound unhappy.
I'm just afraid he's moving further and further away from us. It's such a different lifestyle, different friends, different traditions. His children will be part of their world, not ours. I guess it's just not what I imagined. How could this happen? We're not even religious.
Things happen all the time that we can't control. The other day, one of my friends said that their daughter brought a girl over to dinner and introduced her as her partner. The parents were speechless.
I guess compared to this girl's parents, we should consider ourselves lucky.
He's happy. He's not lonely. That's what counts.
I know. We keep telling ourselves that all the time.
Besides, Julie is expecting. You'll have her baby to enjoy.
I can't wait.
Mom, it just occurred to me that I should ask Sarah and Tina to go mountain hiking with us.
Shouldn't you ask Sophie first?
No, they said bring whoever you want to. There'll be lots of guys and not too many girls.
What if you like the same guy?
No, I don't think so. We have very different taste in men.
Sis, I found a guy for Iris.
You did? Who is he? How do you know him?
Rick is the son of my voice teacher.
Jenny's?
Yes.
I'm so excited. What's his story? Why is he single?
He had a fiancée, Karen, who broke off the engagement a week before the wedding, when everything was ready and paid for. Oh, I pity her parents.
Why'd she do it? What was her reason?
She explained to Richard that she thought that she was in love with him, but she was really in love with the idea of marriage, a wedding, the excitement. It wasn't until she met someone else, a week before the wedding, she realized it was wrong for her to marry Rick. Well, she didn't want to hurt him. She felt guilty. I don't really care about her. Can you imagine how Richard felt? How Jenny and Bob felt? Jenny spent hours agonizing over the thought that she would have to break the news to her mother. I mean, Richard's the only son and the only grandson. Grandma even bought a new dress. And on top of all of it, their basement is filled with wedding presents sent by friends and relatives. Jenny doesn't go to the basement anymore. She can't even look at these boxes, and she can't throw them away.
God. Are you sure Richard's ready to meet someone in his state of mind?
It's over. Jenny says he wants to forget the whole experience. He's ready to start a new relationship. Oh, he's a wonderful guy. Adventurous, funny, easygoing. He's got a great sense of humor, lots of friends. I have a feeling he and Iris will hit it off. I told Jenny about my little niece. Jenny's excited too.
Sounds fantastic. I'll call Iris right away and I'll call you back.
I'll be waiting for your call and then I'll call Jenny.
Mom, I just watched that movie you gave me. Talk to Her. It was so beautiful and so sad. He loved her so much. If only he had been told that she came out of the coma, he wouldn't have killed himself.
Honey, don't forget it's just a movie. I have something important to tell you. I found a guy for you. Laura found him. He seems perfect.
What's his name?
Richard. If it's okay with you, Laura will give your phone number to his mother.
Wait, I'm nervous. Is he cute? I've never talked to a guy who I haven't met. This is as bad as a blind date. What would I say?
Play it by ear. If he asks you out, Go for a drink. Ask him if he's seen Talk to Her. Talk to him about Talk to Her. Can I tell Laura it's okay?
I guess. Oh God, am I nervous? Bye. Wait. Okay, bye.
Hello?
Mom?
Yes?
Jamal called. He said he's down to 0 girlfriends. Jamal said that he decided to give up his cultural tradition because I alone weigh more than 3 other girlfriends together. Mom, I hate to do this to you, but could you please call Laura and tell her that I've gotten back together with Jamal? It would be awkward if Richard called. Mom? Mom, I'm sorry. What could I do? I love him. I know how much you've done for me, but I confess, the idea of dating somebody else filled me with dread. Jamal's perfect for me. We have the same sense of humor. We laugh all the time. Mom, you used to like him too. Mom?
What do you mean used to? I like Jamal very much. I love him. Dad loves him too. I am so happy for you.
What a relief. Then it's settled.
Of course, it's just so embarrassing. Now I have to call Laura, Laura Jenny, Jenny Richard.
Mom, I have a brilliant idea. I'm a genius. Since Richard hasn't met me yet, why don't you give him both Sarah's and Tina's phone numbers? We have a lot in common, Sarah, Tina, and I. I'm sure he'd find something for himself between the two of them.
You are so funny, my little genius. Let me think about it.
By the way, I told Jamal about your idea to give women the right to have 4 husbands. He laughed, of course. Your mother is so amusing. He said it wouldn't work, because every time the woman gave birth, the men wouldn't know if the child was his own.
So
they wouldn't know whom to love.
they would have to learn to love all her children. It would be one big happy family. One mother, many fathers.
Mom, you have so many interesting ideas. Jamal also said that if a woman walked uncovered, she'd unleash lust in other men.
Let them get a taste of their own medicine. Besides, 4 husbands are plenty to shield her from any lustful man.
I can't wait to tell Jamal and hear his funny commentary. Jamal also said he'd call his parents and tell them that they'd have to bear all wedding expenses.
Why?
First,
to compensate for the inferiority of men in general. Second, for your agreeing to continue mankind. And third, for the discrimination against American women.
So the wedding is on.
Yep. Start the ball rolling. Send out the invitation cards. And Jamal and I would like to help you with your errands.
Fabulous. Start now. Call Laura.
I'm busy now packing.
Oh yes, mountain hiking. What about Jamal?
Oh, he's going too. He's packing now, and then he's coming over and taking me out to dinner.